Coming up on Naperville News 17, a civil rights activist addresses concerns and promotes peace after local racist acts. A hairdresser gives back for the holidays. And some local dancers get to be in the room where it happens. Hello everyone, I'm Kim Pierce. Thanks for joining us for this week's Naperville News. In the wake of two recent high-profile racist incidents in Naperville, a famous civil rights activist addressed community leaders and discussed what needs to change. Our own Christian Kennesaw has the story.
Our present day is victory.
Reverend Jesse Jackson spoke those words, and a packed room echoed them as he commended community members for taking the first step in trying to learn from recent racist incidents in Naperville. Senators, school officials, police chiefs, and many more gathered at Cantini's Park Golf Clubhouse for Unity Partnership's Leadership Forum. The panel featured several community leaders and was highlighted by Reverend Jackson. The civil rights activist said racism is a belief system and that the community needs change.
We must teach racism we must teach racism is ungodly. Teach racism is immoral. Racist practices are illegal. We must teach that.
School District 203 Superintendent Dan Bridges says the recent racist incidents in Naperville Central High School has been a wake-up call to the district.
We have equity teams from each of our buildings going through deep equity training based on the work to really ensure that we have systems in place to support our kids.
Bridges also said the district is reviewing its curriculum to ensure they're culturally considerate. Tamara Wallace, the mother of the Black Naperville Central freshman, who had his picture posted on Craigslist by a classmate with the caption, quote, "Slave for sale, Naperville," end quote, said everybody needs to be accepting of one another, which requires the perfect mix of ingredients.
You know, I don't know about you, but a big bowl of gumbo is really good to me. And that has all kinds of ingredients in there. And we need to think of ourselves as a large bowl of gumbo. And teach our kids to embrace one another, to love one another, to cherish one another, and to get along with one another. Teach that.
For Naperville News 17, I'm Christian Kennesaw.
And here in Naperville, residents rallied against racism at an organized event downtown. Naperville News 17's Casey Krajewski was there.
Dozens braved the cold and rain for a Hate Has No Home Here rally in response to recent incidents of racism in Naperville.
We're here to say this is where community begins, because we are here to say that there is no place for hate in our homes, in our streets, in our cities.
One of the keynote speakers was Marcus Riley, a victim of discrimination at the Naperville Buffalo Wild Wings on October 26th.
You know you have to have conversations with children growing up, right? You kind of prep yourself for that going forward, knowing that, you know, all right, we're at this age, we have to start talking about these type of things. We're at this age, we talk about these type of things. I'm now forced to explain racism to a 6-year-old child and hope he understands.
The event's theme, Where Do We Go From Here?, gave attendees ideas for what can be done at the individual level.
We can't tolerate it. We've got to do things about it. We often talk about behaviors and working on behaviors when we see it. Do that oftentimes in the schools, okay? But the things we need to really work on are attitudes, because we can address the behavior, but if the attitude is still there, we know we have a lot of work to do.
For Naperville News 17, I'm Casey Krajewski.
If you'd like to view the full rally, you can watch on the NCTV 17 Facebook page. Now that December is here, the countdown to Christmas Day begins, and the Naperville Police Department has a special one of their own. For this month's A Safer Naper, the NPD is doing 24 days of safety, posting one safety topic each day.
We've been doing the Safer Naper campaign now for 24 months. That's why we thought it'd be great really to kind of summarize a lot of the work that we've done and a lot of the topics that we've done throughout the years.
The topics range from online shopping safety to general tips on how to be aware of your surroundings. But most of them will focus on safety tips during the holiday season.
We're going to be talking about some seasonal safety topics, such as winter driving tips, burglary prevention, preventing porch pirates.
The NPD advises making sure someone is home when a package is delivered. If that's not possible, try having it delivered to your office. And if you're traveling this holiday season, be sure to leave your exterior lights on from dusk to dawn. Set your interior lights on a timer and either have your neighbor check your mail or put a hold on it. The NPD says they do see an uptick in holiday-related crimes like these during this time, which is why it's important to keep these tips in mind. Edward Hospital has received a special designation for the 4th time.
Edward Hospital as a magnet organization. Congratulations on your 4th designation.
Nurses, senior executives, and staff gathered in the hospital's education center to celebrate Edward being recognized as a magnet hospital for nursing excellence.
It does take the work of every single unit and department, not only nursing, but really, pharmacy, rehab services, every single discipline, how we interact with physicians. So it is nice to come together as a team and really celebrate this success.
Everyone heard the good news at exactly 9:15 a.m. when the chair of the Magnet Recognition Program announced it over the phone. It is a long process of submitting a 1,000-page application, written patient care documents, and an on-site visit. Edward, which has 1,200 nurses, is one of 8 hospitals in Illinois to receive this designation 4 or more times, and one of 100 nationwide. The hospital also received this honor in 2005, 2010, and 2014. After the break, overcoming obstacles to create art with heart.
We live in a safe community, but not a crime-free community. If you see something, say something. Be a Naperville Crime Stopper.
NCTV17.com is the best place for you to stay up to date on your neighborhood happenings. Get your local news and sports all on the go by signing up for our daily news update. Naperville Community Television, keeping you informed.
No matter who you're shopping for this holiday season, the Downtown Naperville Alliance reminds you to shop local. Though online retail continues to grow in popularity, shopping local has a great list of benefits.
No doubt the lure of online shopping is real, but to support these businesses, they stay open, they stay employed. It's the fabric of our community. And so we really hope that people choose to do their holiday shopping this year.
When you shop at local businesses, more money stays in the community. Wood said downtown Naperville has a diverse mix of local shops and national chains.
Downtown Naperville is such an authentic, historic, beautiful downtown, and we have over 300 businesses down here. So you're going to get just about anything you want for the people on your wish list.
If you're stuck on what to buy for someone, Wood suggested a Downtown Naperville gift card, which is accepted at more than 150 locations. If you have holiday lights that don't shine quite as bright as they used to, or maybe just don't shine at all, the Naperville Park District has a place for them. For the 9th year in a row, the Naperville Park District is recycling unwanted holiday lights. The program is part of a partnership with Elgin Recycling. You can drop your lights off in these specially marked bins at 4 Park District locations, including the Fort Hill Activity Center, the Rubin Center in downtown Naperville, Knock Knolls Nature Center, and Springbrook Golf Course. With most holiday lights being made of plastic or glass, it's important to recycle the materials instead of throwing them away and leaving them in landfills.
Some of the materials that are in these strings of lights include, plastic, glass, and copper. And copper is a non-renewable resource and it's expensive, so it's already refined. So when you use it as in the recycled form, it saves a lot of money and it saves environmental impact as well.
The program runs through February 1st, 2020, so any holiday lights that give out this year can still be recycled. The Park District will accept mini lights, C7 lights, C9 lights, rope lights, LED lights, and extension cords. But they do ask that you take the lights out of their bag when you leave them in the bucket. In the spirit of the season, one Naperville resident is giving back in a stylish way. Our own Christian Kenizal tells us how.
Look good, feel good.
That's the attitude Dominique Renee wants young women to have about their hair and confidence. The Naperville resident is getting in the holiday spirit by offering free hairstyling to those less fortunate.
When I measure giving back, that's a priority in my life because so many people have poured into me throughout the years, and I will never forget it. And it was at times in my life where I really needed it.
Renee's good deed isn't going unnoticed or unappreciated by those she's helping out.
My mom doesn't have to struggle to get my hair done, even when I need it or if I don't need it.
A simple hairstyle goes a long way for Nevaeh and her family, as her mother is saving around $140 thanks to Renee.
It was a great blessing because now she can get much more. Because it can pay a bill, it can buy some food, it can do a whole lot more.
Renee is giving back in more ways than just one. She runs Mama Hands, Baby's Blessings, a nonprofit that helps out teenage mothers with everyday needs like baby formula. After some sprays and some blow drying, it was time to work on the bun and the finishing details.
When she looks in the mirror and she sees how she looks, I want her confidence level to soar, and that makes, to see somebody and to see especially the young girls, when they smile and they see themselves in that light, it makes me happy.
The hairdo was finished, and it was time for Nevaeh to take a look in the mirror.
Whoa. You like it? She said I'm cute.
A new style and a new sense of self-worth. For Naperville News 17, I'm Christian Kenizal.
Donations for Renee's nonprofit will help out expecting mothers on Christmas. A local artist lost the use of her hands after an act of violence. Naperville News 17's Aisha Ashley Hausa shares how she found a way to let her creative light shine and continue doing what she loves.
A painter grasps the brush and gracefully creates a stroke across the canvas. What if this artist couldn't use their hands? That's the reality for Mariam Paré, who has learned to paint by mouth instead. At 20, her life was forever changed when she was suddenly shot while sitting in her car.
At the time, I didn't even know I had been shot. I thought I had been electrocuted because I saw a bright light and my hands dropped off the steering wheel and I was instantly paralyzed.
The painter, who had been going to art school, believed she'd lost the color in her life, but with a strong determination, she didn't give in. Her occupational therapist taught her how to write her name using her mouth, which sparked an idea.
And it was at that point that I realized, well, if I can write my name with a pen in my mouth, wow, maybe I could paint this way. I got excited about that I could have art in my life again.
The artist has to take it one brushstroke at a time, but she's doing what she loves.
Making art became this thing that I felt really good about because I could still do, and I think it kept me going and gave me a purpose.
Now 23 years later, Paré is a member of the Mouth and Foot Painting Artists, or MFPA. Through this group, she's able to license her work. This year, she is one of 4 U.S. artists chosen to be part of the MFPA's annual Christmas card sale, the proceeds going back to the artist. Art could have been something she lost, but for Paré, it is something that sets her free.
It's the only place in my world that I don't have any limitations. And I think that's why I love painting so much.
Reporting for Naperville News 17, I'm Aisha Ashley Hausa.
Miriam's Christmas cards are available on the MFPA website. Coming up, Illumination lights up the Morton Arboretum.
People spend, on average, a third of their time online watching videos. A single minute of video is worth 1.8 million words. Adding professional video to marketing emails can boost click-through rates by as much as 300%. So leverage the power of video. Consider NCTV 17's production services for your marketing needs. Contact us to begin the conversation today.
Shop downtown Naperville this holiday season with over 100 shops from national favorites to one-of-a-kind boutiques, plus over 50 restaurants. And health and beauty options too. You'll find something for everyone on your shopping list. Don't forget about downtown Naperville gift cards. They make a perfect gift for use everywhere in downtown Naperville. Come shop, dine, and be merry in downtown Naperville.
If you're looking to brighten up your holiday season, the Morton Arboretum is the place to be. Naperville News 17's Aisha Ashley Hausa took a tour through their illuminating light show.
If you step into the Morton Arboretum, you'll walk by around 1,000 lit up trees. The opening day of illumination, tree lights at the Morton Arboretum, brought in 6,000 people who were surrounded by the twinkling lights. Some old-time favorites like the Symphony Woods experience is back this year, while some new additions have been added to spark things up.
This year, our newest exhibition is called Tree Fascination, and there is an actual video or reflection on a grove of Scott pine trees, and it's actually scientific data that was turned into lights by one of our scientists, and the data was fed into our light designer, so it's a really neat pattern.
Most trees came to life with the help of color, sound, and light, while others needed a little love first. And the one exhibit you don't want to miss? Tree Imagination, where you can see and hear the trees breathing. A truly illuminating experience. Reporting for Naperville News 17, I'm Aisha Ashley Hausa.
The last day to see the display is January 5th. A Naperville holiday tradition has moved to a new location. After years lighting up Naper's settlement every holiday season, Naper Lights has moved to Water Street. The 7th annual light show is bringing some holiday cheer to the district and along the Riverwalk, courtesy of the Naperville Sunrise Rotary and Water Street downtown Naperville. The lights will come on from 4 to 9 p.m. every night through December 27th. Admission is free to view the lights, but online donations are accepted and will go to the Rotary Club. It's the season of giving, and you can bring some holiday cheer with just a simple toy. For the 13th year, Naperville Park District Police will have multiple drop-off locations for the U.S. Marine Corps' Toys for Tots program, a toy drive that aims to bring the joy of Christmas to less fortunate children.
It goes with the season. It's a chance to share the fact that you are so fortunate with others that might not be quite so fortunate, and it's a no-brainer charity. I mean, what more could you want to do in this season?
Organizers ask that you drop off newly purchased, unwrapped toys. The only toys they can't accept are stuffed animals. To date, Toys for Tots has distributed more than 560 million toys across the country, and Naperville has played a part.
Every year since we started doing it, the folks in Naperville have been extremely generous. By the time our efforts are concluded this year on December 14th, I'd anticipate we'll have taken 6 or 7 pickup trucks full of toys over to the warehouse in Woodridge.
You can find a full list of collection box locations on the Park District's website. The holidays are always a popular time for big movies. Our own Casey Krajewski stopped by Classic Cinema's Ogden 6 to find out what to watch for.
This year's holiday movie landscape has something for everyone, from smashing sequels to neighborly cheer.
It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood.
But the biggest blockbuster of the season will be a box office force to be reckoned with.
Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker, it's not just the end of this trilogy, but it's really the end of the entire Skywalker saga, something which has been going on now for 42 years. So I think people are very excited to see what this thing, which has been such a huge part of their lives, has been building up to.
The Force will be with you. Always.
But if TIE fighters and lightsabers aren't your thing, Cats is singing and dancing its way into theaters just before Christmas.
Whenever a movie like Star Wars comes out, there's always going to be another movie which is kind of alternative programming for those people who may not be interested in Star Wars. And this year it's certainly Cats. And it's by an Oscar-winning filmmaker. It has an amazing cast, and I think it's going to surprise a lot of people.
One film that's already giving viewers chills is Frozen 2.
The original Frozen, I think, took a lot of people by surprise. I mean, obviously it was a Disney cartoon and there's a certain expectation with that. But now that everybody has seen that Frozen is a game changer, the anticipation for Frozen 2 is insane.
Another option that hit cinemas before Thanksgiving has Tom Hanks transforming into everyone's favorite neighbor, Mr. Rogers.
Anytime you have Tom Hanks in a movie, that's something. But when you have Tom Hanks playing Mr. Rogers, that's something else entirely. I mean, so far the reviews have been fantastic. It's at 96% positive on Rotten Tomatoes, and I would not be at all surprised if it gets a bunch of nominations for the Oscars.
If the neighborhood of make-believe isn't adventurous enough, Jumanji: The Next Level may appeal to your tastes.
I don't think anyone was expecting the first Jumanji sequel to be what it was, but they really found a formula that worked. And with this one, instead of going back and doing the exact same thing, they're really changing things up.
Finally, Schindler says an underrated hit this winter will be a sharp-witted mystery.
One movie which is out right now, which I think might slip under some people's radars, is Knives Out, which is a whodunit with a twist, starring an all-star cast, led by Daniel Craig, Chris Evans, Jamie Lee Curtis. This is one of the absolute best movies of the year, and it is the most fun you will have all season.
Whatever picture you end up seeing this season, it's sure to be a magical time. For Naperville News 17, I'm Casey Krajewski.
That was wonderful.
Two more to keep on your radar: real-life stories turned movies, Richard Jewell and Bombshell, both coming out in mid-December. Up next, a Naperville man who's made the turkey trot his annual tradition.
We tell everybody's stories big and small. Everybody's story matters to us, and it comes in a variety of shapes and sizes, and that's what makes it so special. We don't always need a big story. Sometimes we want a story that makes us laugh. Sometimes we want a story that we relate to. Sometimes we want to cry with that story. But more importantly, we want to hear the stories about our people in the community.
I thought the interview was great. It helped increase exposure for my center in Naperville. It helped increase my exposure within my company. And above all, it was just great to talk to Liz about education, and we both share a similar passion about it.
The turkey trot may have become a tradition for some over the years, but no more than Kevin Gensler, who has participated in every single one. And at this point, it's not just a tradition for him, it's a commitment.
Last year, I walked the whole thing for the first time because it was, I had heart surgery 7 weeks before, so it was a goal to do that.
After undergoing a major surgery, why not just skip it?
They've been doing it for many, many years, and as long as I'm around here, why would I not do it? After you've done so many of them, then you want to keep the streak up.
He's kept the streak up for the last 21 years, and this Thanksgiving won't be any different. And he won't be taking on the 5K race alone, with his son and daughter-in-law trotting along beside him.
It's become a tradition that we go do the turkey trot, then we go to Quigley's for a little bit, and then come home and enjoy Thanksgiving.
The family element is one reason why Gensler enjoys participating in the turkey trot so much.
You see a lot of families doing it, including family members come from out of town and do it together, which is nice.
Although the turkey trotter has done many other races throughout the years, this is the only one he's done every year. Have you ever won it over these?
No, not even close.
Reporting for Naperville News 17, I'm Aisha Ashley Hausa.
And if you have an idea for a sports story feature, you can let us know at newstips@nctv17.com. One local family has started an anti-bullying movement that caught the attention of some stars of the stage. Naperville News 17's Casey Krajewski tells us more about Dance On.
Midwest Edge Dance Academy recently hosted a full day of movement, singing, and dance lessons taught by some of the industry's top professionals, including several cast and crew members of Hamilton, Chicago. And it was all for a good cause. The nonprofit Dance On started last year when Greg Long's son Jimmy and other male dancers were heckled on stage, with some in the audience even directing homophobic slurs at the boys. Greg began selling t-shirts to raise awareness of this bullying and provide scholarships to aspiring dancers.
We are up to about 36, I believe, scholarships that have benefited both male dancers and special needs programs. In addition, we've made partnerships with the cast of Hamilton, who's here today, doing our fundraiser.
It's these masterclass events that have drawn the most attention, and the instructors get as much out of it as the students.
There's an incredible kind of sense of fulfillment in a way that you're not only doing what you love, but you're also benefiting a community. Having a kid that's been moved and inspired to do and work harder is literally why we do what we do.
Dance On even created a short film using the talents of professionals in the dance community, like Heiken, who choreographed the film. Greg recruited fellow Midwest Edge dance dad and documentarian Rich Hemingway as director after meeting at a dance event.
A man walks up in the middle of the gym and tells this story that brought a tear to my eye. And walked out, told him I thought he was a great dad. Ironically enough, they dance here. I ran into him, mentioned that I work in television and film, and Greg's a good resource miner. He definitely takes advantage of what's around him.
The masterclass event ended with a showcase of the skills the dancers learned over the course of the day, while they were in the room where it happened. For Naperville News 17, I'm Casey Krajewski.
The full Dance On video is available on their YouTube page. And that's what's happening right here in your neighborhood, Naperville. We'll see you next week. Until then, you can catch up on local news by signing up for our NCTV 17 news update, delivered right to your inbox Monday through Friday. Sign-up information is right on our website, nctv17.com.
This week's Naperville News 17 is brought to you in part by the following sponsors. This program is partially funded by a grant from the City of Naperville.